Hey guys, I am back today with a tag video. I've never done a tag video, so I thought I would try the 7 Deadly Sins of Reading tag. That was started by Bookishly Malaysia, and she adapted some kind of beauty tag to like a reading tag, and I will post a link to her video down below. But I'm going to give it a shot and we'll see how it goes. So the first sin is greed, and the question related to that is, what is your most expensive and least expensive book? So my least expensive is Heir Apparent by Vivian Van de Velde. It's a YA book. I picked it up at a library, 25 cents. I actually had 3 others with it. I picked up all 25 cents, but that's just the one I'm showing for the video. And my most expensive book is this monster, Harry Potter from Page to Screen. $75, but I am a huge Harry Potter fan, so when this thing came out, this beautiful, beautiful book. There's the spine. I just had to get it. And let me show you briefly some of the pages. There's illustrations and photos, views of Hogwarts, loaded with stories and stuff. It's just a gorgeous book for any Harry Potter fan. A lot of the art and how they did the costume designs and the sets and everything. So that is my most expensive book. The next sin is Wrath, and the question is, which author do you have a love-hate relationship with? I had to think about that for a bit. The only one that really comes to mind is an author who I haven't really read in a long time, is Elizabeth Peters. She's a mystery writer, and actually it's the pen name of Barbara Mertz, and she's an Egyptologist who was born in Illinois. She also writes under the name of Barbara Michaels, and those are her like gothic romance series. But under the pen name of Elizabeth Peters, she writes more of the Egyptian mysteries. She's had a couple different characters, but her main character she's most well known for is the Amelia Peabody series. And they're set in Victorian time. There's a lot of humor in there. She's sort of this amateur archaeologist. She has a passion for pyramids, and she goes off on these vacations and tries to kind of climb around in pyramids, investigate, and do her own research. And she gets involved in all sorts of mysteries and trying to solve crimes and things like that. But it was a really good series. I really enjoyed. I read up to, I think, book 6. She meets another archaeologist, and they get married. They have a kid. He's rather precocious. Growing up in a family of Egyptologists and things, he writes notes to his family in hieroglyphs. But then the kid grew older, and the stories kind of changed. They adopted a couple of kids, and it was just like it just kept going and going and going. And there was the mysteries were kind of getting a little more lamer, and I just wanted like a wrap up. I wanted the series to kind of wrap up and end. And finally, I just gave up on it. I just couldn't read them anymore. A little too repetitive. And in fact, I was just checking on Goodreads the other day when I was trying to figure out who I was going to pick for my author for this category, and found out she's up to book 18 in the series. I mean, 18. How much? I don't know how much more she has to say about these characters. It just seems like pick a different one, or expand on one of the other characters or something. But that would be mine. I enjoyed the earlier ones. Crocodile and the Sandbank was book 1 in the Amelia Peabody series. Like I said, I enjoyed about up to book 6, and then that was it. I'd had enough. So that's for that one. The next sin is gluttony. And what book have you continually devoured over and over again with no shame whatsoever? That would have to be Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. I first had to read this in high school, like many of us did, and I picked up a used mass market copy at a local shop, and I read it, fell in love with the story. Just very drawn to the characters, especially the children. Kind of relate to. I had an older brother. I could kind of relate to the relationship between the two of them, and I just kept reading that thing to the point of where the pages were literally falling apart on it, and I had to throw it away. I mean, I was losing pages. I had a rubber band holding the thing together. And many years later, this particular edition came out, which is quite lovely. It's the 35th anniversary edition. It's got these lovely deckled edges and everything. And I've actually never even cracked this thing open. Instead of that, because I don't have a lot of time now to reread books, I have so many other titles I read, I bought it in audio. So this, on trips back and forth to work is what I devour. So I can't even tell you how many times I've previously read the book and now continually listen to the book. It is definitely one of my favorite stories. The next sin is sloth, and the question is, what book have you neglected reading due to laziness? That would have to be Felix J. Palma's The Map of Time. Beautiful book, isn't it? This is actually an advanced reader copy, and so you can imagine the actual publication date of this book was June 28th, 2011. So I received this book sometime prior to that. I still haven't read it. I think it's now come out from hardcover now into paperback format. Still haven't read it. The thing is huge. It's like 609 pages. I mean, it sounds really fascinating. It's got time travel. It's got H.G. Wells as a main character in it. Everything I could possibly like. Victorian London. Yeah, all of it. I just can't sit. I just don't have the time. I got too many books to read. I'm not the fastest reader. This would take me forever. Someday, I hope to get to this. Now the sun is coming through here. Okay. The next one, Pride. What book do you most talk about in order to sound like a very intellectual reader? I don't really have any particular book. I don't think I ever have a desire to sound particularly intellectual. Maybe the only thing I can think of is an occasional Shakespeare quote or something will pop into my head. I did enjoy reading Shakespeare. I haven't really read any of the books in a long time. Maybe a part of a Hamlet soliloquy or, Richard III, that was the Winter of Our Discontent thing. Little snippets like that, but that's probably the only thing I could really think of for that one. Then there's lust. Which attributes do you most find attractive in a male or female character? For male, I probably drawn to like the underdog, the slightly geeky character who kind of pulls through and is like the hero of the day. He's got to have a sense of humor, good looks and bad, but it's always kind of the underdog character who pulls through in the end. Kind of the opposite for the female character. Like most people I've seen who've been doing this video is like, I like the kick-ass girl. I like the one who's take charge, no nonsense, means business. Katniss in the Hunger Games, Triss in Divergent. Definitely Rachel Morgan in the Hollow series. Yeah, that's the kind of character I like the best. Then the last sin is envy. What book would you like most to receive as a gift? Any book, really. I come from a family of non-readers. I'm the only reader. I think I must have been adopted. Something seriously wrong here. So never really got books as gifts. It's sort of like, well, you work in a bookstore, go buy your own book. I can understand that. But if I had to pick one book, probably at least in terms of what I'm interested in currently, or what I'd like to read, is probably Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, because I keep hearing such good things about it. I'm not one that's normally going to go to a store and search out a contemporary romance book. So that's something the only I'm ever going to read is if I get it as a gift. So I'll pick that one. That's it. So I wasn't specifically tagged for this. It was sort of just a generalized. I watched the video and they said, okay, I tag all of you. So I'm tagging all of you. And if you post a video, please put it in the comments below so I'll know where to look for it. And if not, if you just want to answer the questions, I'm going to put the questions down below and you could answer them in the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys pick for these particular sins. And I'll be talking to you later. The next video I'll probably be doing will be my May wrap-up. It might be a little bit late, so I'll get to it as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.